Time to move into the pick and ban phase, captain's mode, Zephyr versus 5 in Q. Let's move into the drafting. And here we go. This is a Tier 1 match in the KDL. This is Set 2, a best of 3 between Zephyr Dota and 5 in Q. Timbersaw as the first ban. So no ban on the Ember Spirit or Storm Spirit. Two heroes I would assume 5 in Q would want to prioritize. Zephyr just banning out that Doom straight up. So 5 in Q, they'll have first pick this time around. Zephyr did go with the Ember Spirit as the first pick last game. And Slark, the second removal. Zephyr getting rid of the Ember Spirit, and Nyx Assassin finally slipping through the cracks, getting a first pick from 5 in Q. I'm not sure if Zephyr will be happy playing against Nyx Assassin. They haven't really played against him recently. There is 5 in Q's Segun. Oh, and Zephyr. They're picking the heroes they know and love. Storm Spirit, Lifestealer, a great combo potential. Infest into the Storm Spirit. Ball around, out of control. I'm sure Corey is going to be quite happy about playing on that Lifestealer. One of his signature heroes, I'd say. Don't give him space. That's the thing. And Blitz, I mean, it's Storm Spirit. What else is there really to say about him and that hero? They go together like spaghetti and meatball. All right, so 5 in Q. They have a lot of potential heroes they can pick up. They kind of deal with Zephyr's lineup. I think a Bane Mirana combo could be very solid here, but it's going to be a Shadow Demon as the second pick. 5 in Q, they've played the Nyx in various roles, so I'm not 100% sure where it's going to end up, but I mean, they're a team that plays Mirana mid, so we could see this Nyx in any lane potentially. FX on the Dazzle last game, but just not a huge... You didn't really use it to great effect. None of 5 and Q really were able to utilize their heroes, I feel, as well as Zephyr. As far as bans go, OD, Naga removed on Zephyr's end, and Crystal Maiden / Sand King for 5 and Q. So they're just starting to get rid of some supports that Zephyr may want to use. Definitely agree with the Sand King ban. Would not want to see that hero in addition to the Lifestealer and the Storm Spirit. I would like to see a Bane pick up, kind of to counter the Lifestealer, maybe even a Razor, and put the Nyx in the offlane for 5 and Q, but Zephyr picking up the Dazzle. The first time we'll see him played by Zephyr in the KDL. And Invoker for 5 in Q. So I imagine we'll see KSH midding up that Invoker versus the Storm Spirit. I think they're alluding Eosin to playing on that Dazzle. It's KSH. He has played Invoker recently. I don't know. I'm not sold on the mid Mirana. I think she's better off as a position 1 or support hero. She was played a lot in the mid lane back in the day before her carry potential was realized. But beyond that, I mean, not too much. All right, so Zephyr, they're picking up a Visage. They have a lot of slow on their team, but they don't have a lot of disable. So that's the one thing I'm concerned about. No hard stuns to really help them out. And if we look at the opposition, 5 and Q, you know, they have the Nyx Assassin for stun. They can use Disrupt as well. They have more Disable to deal with the Storm Spirit. And, you know, in addition to the Invoker as well, with the Cold Snap, can help out a little bit. EMP Tornado. I am liking 5 and Q's lineup a little bit more so far. But Zephyr, I mean, they have heroes that they're very comfortable on, with Corey as the Life Stealer and Storm Spirit as... Well, Blitz as the Storm Spirit. Whoa, whoa, hold on a second. All right, we have a sniper pick. We have a sniper. So I guess this Invoker is going to hope for a 1v1 matchup in the off lane or short lane. I guess this is as good as time as any to pick a sniper. 5 and Q. They kind of got routed last game pretty hard in the Mirana as the last pick. So I'm assuming, I think this is going to be off lane Mirana. I think it is. I think Bamboo is going to be handling the Mirana. But there's so many ways they can lane these heroes. They can even put Storm Spirit and like I guess a safe lane Mirana. There's just a lot they can do. But I do imagine that the Mirana will end up in the off lane. There's really no better hero on Zephyr's lineup than Storm Spirit for the mid lane. The lane is the last pickup as well for 5 and Q. So they're saying, screw the rule book, we're going to do whatever we want. Well, regardless of the picks and bans, I think we're in for a treat. Lots of unconventional Dota about to come your way. This is the Korean scene after all. Dreams are made, forged, and broken. This is the KDL Korean Dota 2 League. My name is Whiplash. It's time for Zephyr versus 5 and Q. Let's move into the match. Early smoke from Zephyr. This is a Tier 1 KDL match. Set 2 in a best of 3 between Zephyr and 5 and Q. Zephyr will be spawning on the Dire side with 5 and Q as the Radiant. On the smoke settles, some wards being placed that give a bit of vision for the boys in blue. The other boys in blue. I guess that originally does go to Liquid after all. But Zephyr are also boys in blue. So it looks like they're offensive tri-laning with the Sniper, Lina, and Shadow Demon combination, the Nyx in the off lane. I am happy to see that hero in the off lane. And there is a lot of stuns and disable on 5 and Q's end. They got a cool lineup, actually, now that it's kind of completed out. Oh, I am curious to see how this lane will work. Actually, they're putting Corey as... Oh, this is not going to work out for Zephyr at all. I think they were counting on an offensive, not on an offensive tri-lane, but that's what they're going to get. So we should see the supports rotate fairly quickly for Zephyr to the top lane. Oh, and actually this could be very bad for Corey. The disruption hits. There's going to be a stun follow up, but the rage, he gets out and he will be fine. Corey down the half health, but he will live the fight another day, but he's not going to get any farm early on. And we're already seeing Eosin and Purge rotate towards the middle, and then most likely they'll hit the top lane. They need to get some sentry wards, though, the D-ward their side of the map. But this is going to give 5 and Q a small early game advantage. Bambo should have a pretty easy time in the bottom lane. But it could be worse for the Nyx. He could be against a standard tri-lane. Like, KSH needs to play this carefully. Just a single hit. Oh, Purge actually taking a lot of damage. He'll be okay, though. Cynical is smoked up near the rune. Oh, is Purge going to get it? Nope. Nice deny, and there's a disruption follow-up. Things are not looking good for Zephyr. Purge, unfortunately, gives up the first blood, but KSH is heavily under fire. Eosin low on health. Will he be able to survive? No. That's a 2-0. And Blitz, he has the haste rune, but he's diving mighty far, and he may actually end up dying. That is a 3-0. Zephyr overextending way too much. And it doesn't seem like Blitz knows how to cut his losses and leave. 5-Q getting the better lanes, gets 3 kills early on. Corey is not going to be doing too good in this lane as well versus the sniper. The supports are moving towards the top lane for Zephyr. Ranso does have his for support as well. And Sniper, he's weak in the laning phase, but after that, if you get some farm on him, he's a great carry. He really is. He can dish out damage like no other. But not the best start for Zephyr. I am glad to seeing a little bit of fire from 5-Q after that last game's performance, which, in all honesty, was extremely one-sided. So maybe we'll actually see 5-Q take a game off of Zephyr and move it into a game 3. Still way too early to tell, but Corey is not getting the farm that he wants. He probably won't even go for a Midas this game at this rate. And the stats will start to pile up for Ranto. As far as last hits go, Bambo once again in the lead. 2 hits above the sniper, leading the scoreboard. Blitz isn't doing too bad himself despite that death early on. And FX hits the Invis rune. The supports are rotating. Blitz he's in trouble, actually. But moves back. I think he has an idea of what's going on. Blitz knows the supports are not around, and he has to play extra safe. And he doesn't know what rune has been picked up. It could be safe to assume it's an invisibility rune at this point. Uh-oh, in comes the disruption. There's the follow-up. Stun is going to hit him. Down goes Blitz. 4-0. 5-Q just completely taking hold of the early game. And if you take out, well, hold that thought, Ranto, he's slowed. Good amount of damage hitting him, but he will be okay. Not enough follow-up from Zephyr. And once again, they don't have any stuns in this lineup. They have slows. Each of those heroes has a slow, but there's no actual stun to keep Ranto in place. That's something that 5-Q is certainly not lacking in. Disruption and a stun follow-up. And then there's the Nyx that will be able to roam around and create space later on in the match. And we can't forget Invoker. He's doing the QW build. In comes the disruption. Follow up Eosin. He is not long for this world. Down he goes. FX, though, gets traded 1-for-1. So at least Zephyr getting a single kill. Invoker, though, already 2-0 compared to Blitz at 0-2. I believe he's building some drums. And Mirana heading towards the mid. Bambo, will we see some plays? That's just a hard position with that creep. All right, arrow. Are we going to see the arrow? Waiting for it. And Bambo is just... he's just slightly off the mark, so he can't be seen. All right, in comes Blitz. The arrow, it's good and connects. But in comes Cynical and the tornado as well. Bambo falls. TP in from Zephyr's Purge, but at every turn, Zephyr are just not getting it. No, they're not getting it done. So 5 and Q already at a 2,000 gold advantage, 6-1. Averaging almost a kill per minute. Corey at least has 1 kill and a decent amount of farm. Nick's doing really good for farm, up to 38 last hits. Nyx is someone that normally you don't see get too much farm. So that's going to be most likely a fast Blink Dagger or Force Staff from the Spider. Alright, well, Blitz back in the mid. Once again, KSH dishing out a little bit of damage. And that's an early Orchid. Most likely coming from the Invoker. And uh-oh, Sexy Bambo. Stun, followed by stun, and death. And really, Zephyr, they don't have much lockdown on their team. It's really starting to hurt them. They have the arrow, which isn't always reliable. They have slows, which are great, but I mean, besides Blitz, and that's still a minor stun at that. Just the lack of lockdown, I feel, is really hurting Zephyr. Well, 5 and Q, 4 of their heroes have some type of decent lockdown. I guess Invoker a little bit less than decent, but still solid. Cynical spotted. That invisibility ward meant to make sure the next assassin can't come and get an easy gank on Blitz in the mid lane. Now Blitz is really hurting for farm. Doesn't even have his boots yet. So Ranto, despite having a really good early game, I guess early game, we're seeing Cordy already up at 41 last hits. This guy knows how to catch up and farm when he needs to. Sagan, he's gonna go ahead and Vendetta into the top lane. Only mana for one of his abilities, follow up, and uh-oh, Corey, he needs to get out of there. Moonlight Shadow, will it be enough though? The stun follow up. Oh, the rage keeps him alive. Corey, very close to death, but just being able to dodge that ultimate. Lifestealer was probably the best pickup that could be used against that sniper. But it's still going to force Corey back for the time being, to at least heal up. Well, he has 1,500 gold saved. I guess he is going to go for that Midas. I believe I did see him upgrade his wand, right, as he went to the well. Sniper, building a Ring of Basilius, probably Ring of Aquila, yeah, actually. Of course, he's going to get that next. And Zephyr, they need to get a few ganks. They need to start feeding Storm Spirit and Corey. These heroes, they need their farm. They're growing boys. Bamboo's not doing too bad on the last hit department. Invoker doing great, 46 last hits already, compared to the 27 of Blitz. It has not fared so well in this match compared to the former. That's what happens when you play a snowball heavy hero like Storm Spirit. So as we approach the 11-minute mark in the match, 5 and Q, they're up 7-1 over Team Zephyr. And it's looking pretty one-sided. About as one-sided as the last game, but just the other way around. I wouldn't count. Oh, Corey, he is almost dead. Staying alive thanks to the shallow grave. And that Corey should have died like 3 times already, but he has just been able to barely hold on, thanks to the team composition he has. Storm Spirit, they're moving in on Kanto. Ranto, can they get him? Indeed they will. Sexy Bambo with the kill on the sniper. And even though Sniper has a lot of last hits, we haven't seen him being used to great effect yet. The headshots that keep trying to kill Corey, they're graved away, or the rage prevents them from doing damage. Zephyr are pretty far behind in gold, despite the towers being equal. A little bit of harassment from the Shadow Demon. Ranto returning to the top. And Sexy Bambo in the mid for the time being. And the tier 1 tower was taken mid, actually, by 5 and Q. And that's a pretty darn early Blink Dagger. 12.5 minutes into the game for the Nyx Assassin. All right, Moonlight Shadow from Zephyr. They're looking to get aggressive. They have all of their heroes in the top lane. Same with 5 and Q, but they're backing up. The arrow, will it hit? Oh! Close, but no cigar. Uh-oh, the Invis rune. Leap. Sexy Bambo staying alive for the time being, but that's a one dead purge. 5 and Q just sticking a little bit more together than Team Zephyr. As you see Zephyr pay the price. And they're most likely going to lose the tier 1 tower in the top lane. That indeed does fall. Shadow Demon now moving towards the middle lane. Defend against that Mirana harassment. And Storm Spirit. Blitz taking a lot of fire from the tower. Needs to be careful. And that's now 3 heroes in the mid lane. They're going in on the Shadow Demon. He tried to survive, but he's going to go ahead and get out of there. Blitz low on health. Does survive. And Sagan, he is vendetted. He is looking for blood. Blitz, if he doesn't jump soon, he indeed jumps. Wow. Perfect timing. Bambo does fall, but Blitz survives. Still not the best trade Zephyr was hoping. Corey under a little bit of fire, but just backs off. Invoker already has an Orchid 14.5 minutes into the match. So it's a pretty darn early Orchid. Invoker has 70 last hits, and I think he's 2-0 and 4, so he's been getting the most farm out of everybody this game from the look of things. Nyx Assassin and Life Stealer about even for last hits. Sniper as well. And then Shreddy behind is the Mirana. And last and least, Storm Spirit, not counting the supports. And the final tier 1 tower does fall on Zephyr's end. I don't know, it's not looking amazing for Team America. Yasha soon to be gained for the Sniper. They're already getting the work on that tier 2 tower. It's down to a third health, almost a quarter. Ranzo just completely outranging that tower. Zephyr, they need to do something. I'm trying to go for the infest. Oh, the arrow. Another miss. Sagan is just waiting to get on somebody. Moonlight Shadow, but they're seen going invisible. Down goes an Observer Ward, and they're moving it on Sagan. Lots of stuns, and the tornado hits multiple people. EMP, Eosin low on health. Purge, looks like he will end up falling. Shallow Grave on the Mirana. Zephyr in full retreat. Sagan gets a double stun. That's going to be another kill. Deaths on deaths on deaths. 5 in Q. They have completely dominated this game, 13-3. Well, if game 1 was one-sided towards Zephyr, I dare say that game 2 is even more one-sided towards 5 and Q. No back and forths here, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a one-sided stomp. But this will give us a very interesting game 3. Should 5 and Q be able to wrap this up? Yeah, the gold graph certainly not looking hot for Zephyr. They are down by 10,000 plus gold. Experience as well, not looking too much in their favor. Corey had the forego the Midas, just going for the drums, S and Y. Now Invoker's picked up his Force Staff. Yeah, QW Invoker with the Orchid. It's a pretty solid combo. I imagine a Manta-style follow-up from the Sniper, most likely. He's 1-1-4, hasn't done too much this game. Would like to see a Mask of Madness on him, just for funsies. All right, KSH looking to get a little bit of aggressive with his team. There is a ping towards where a lot of Zephyr is. They have 3 of their members there. And we do see some spirits from Purge. So he's got those Revens.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다.
Oh, 5 and Q. Saigon, he's positioned. Looking for a kill. I don't think he's going to get anyone. And 5 and Q, I think we have a few of them. Teleporting down to the bottom, Blink in on Blitz. He's going to get Grave to stay alive. But the mana burn, it's too much. And yeah, he is out of the picture. Down go the Gargoyles, but it doesn't even really matter. 5 and Q just, with the stuns and initiation they have, Zephyr can't escape. Sexy Bambo forced Moonlight Shadow to escape. Ooh, Saigon looked for the stun, almost got it. Not happening though. Cynical with a Blink Dagger as well as the Nyx Assassin that has a Blink. Tornado hits Purge. He is silenced and cold snapped, and down he goes. Not the game for Purge. He has just unfortunately been feeding. 5-0 for the Invoker. Great game for KSH. Oh, okay. So 5 and Q have decided they're far enough to go for the Dagon on Saigon. And he's vendetted up. 2-0 for the Nyx Assassin. 5 and Q heading towards the top. Corey raged and teleports home, grabs his armlet. Well, Sniper, a hammer is picked up. So maybe not making an earlier Manta style. Maybe a BKB. Good chance that it's a Desolator though. I would say it's a Desolator probably for the Sniper. Just so he can dish out the damage that he needs to prevent Zephyr from having any shot at winning this. Yeah, and look at the overall gold earn. Just Invoker is so far ahead. The top 3 are Invoker, Nyx Assassin, and Sniper. After that, we have a little bit of Zephyr. Tier 2 tower falls in the mid. Zephyr, they're trying to do a bit of split pushing. Oh, jump. Following the Blink from Saigon, not a fast enough follow up with the stun. Uh-oh, Corey, he is silenced. Cold Snap is about to end. The Tornado hits him. We're going to have to see a Rage follow up. Okay, he's going to Rage and TP out. So no death on Corey. He has managed to escape death time after time. Moving in on Saigon. The stun is good, though, on Blitz. Vendetta follow up. No detection as well from Zephyr. And all of a sudden, Blitz is in a bit of trouble. He is in a lot of trouble. But instantly, Blink follow up and Sunstrike. KSH for the kill. And man, this is not looking good for Team Zephyr. Tornado on Purge, and he is, yeah, he's toast. Oh, Grave to keep him alive for a few more seconds, but I don't think it's going to matter. And down he goes. I'm not sure what Zephyr can really do. It's 17-3. I'm just shocked it's so one-sided after game number 1 where Zephyr were doing amazing. It's completely 180.
레디언트의 하부 포탑이 공격받고 있습니다. 다이어의 구조물이 강화되었습니다.
Bambo pushing the bottom lane. 5 and Q look like they're not just ready. Not ready just yet to knock on the door of the tier 3 towers, but I can see Roshan being a hero that they could pick up. Stun, follow up, tornado, and he is dead. This is what happens when you have the initiation power and the stuns available on your team. There is just no escaping. Nick's having a wonderful time. Mechanism picked up by the Shadow Demon. Cynical with the point booster, probably on his way to Agnum's Scepter. Ranto still doesn't have too much. Not a lot of farm. It's 1-1 and 5 compared to the backbone of 5 and Q has really been carrying them through this game, though. That's for sure, certain. Okay, well, there's some damage for the for the sniper as the Desolator is picked up. And yeah, I'm not really sure how Zephyr plans to continue this game out. Roshan. I would like to see 5 and Q go with a Roshan attack. Nick's Assassin blinked. Is moving in with the rest of his team towards the top. Blitz and Visage. If the tornado is good, if the silence happens. Oh, I think he's dead. Yep. He's gone. There's just nothing that Zephyr can do about this. There really isn't. Their hero's just getting picked off one after one. Dagon 2 picked up for the next assassin. There's also a gem as well on the Lina. An interesting and unconventional item choice. Shadow Blade picked up. Oh, the arrow hits Ranto, brings him down to half health. He's getting earned up and slammed by Roshan at the same time. Zephyr, this is I think their shot. If they can maybe do something against this Roshan fight, another arrow hitting Ranto, he gets disrupted. Roshan, he's starting to go down. Dazzle, though, nowhere near the rest of his team. It looks like 5 and Q are circling around, looking for a pickoff. Can they get... they're not going to get Corey. He backs away. 5 and Q, really, they have so much initiation power. Maybe they can just go for the tier 3. Maybe they don't need that Roshan. Dazzle, what are you doing, buddy? You need to be heading home soon. No fortification. And that tower is just going to get chipped away. Zephyr, their hand will be forced. Ooh. Nice Carapace hit, stunning Sexy Bambo, but Segun does remain stunned as well for the time being. Doesn't take the damage, though. Alright, Lifestealer infested inside Blitz. Can he go in on somebody? The tower, it's just slowly getting picked off bit by bit. 1, 2, another hit or two, and it's gone. And yeah. Oh, nice deny by Purge. They get the tower deny. Still losing that tier 3 tower. Not what Zephyr wants. Oh, the weave is good. It hits Segun, and he gets disrupted. Ranto getting picked up. In comes Zephyr. They're looking for blood. Can they get Segun? Down he goes. And it could be KSH next. Good stun hitting Corey. 5 and Q are on the retreat. And the arrow, it hits Cynical. He's going to end up falling. Zephyr, they get 3 kills, turning it around. It's still a very one-sided game, 20-6, but they're not ready to give up just yet. Man, if 5 and Q lose this match, that's going to be pretty brutal. Zephyr, they're moving into the Roshan pit. This is their chance to gain some momentum. 5 and Q, there's nothing they can do about this. They see the Sunstrike, but Roshan's already at about a third health. They can't punish this. Roshan will go to Zephyr. Wow. Very, very impressive from Team Zephyr. And Blitz is going to take the Aegis. Rana has the gem as well that the Lena had. Yeah, I am very impressed by Zephyr's ability to maintain on the high ground and have a very well executed team fight. You know, they took out the damage dealer sniper, who I believe is going for a Black King bar next. They were able to get the nice stun on Sagon as well. Blitz now has a Black King bar. That's going to help him out so much in these team fights. But 5 and Q still has a very superior pickoff ability with their team. Scythe of Ice picked up by the Invoker. It was 7-0. This is Invoker's game to win. Ranto's starting to get a little scary as well with his items. If he picks up that Black King bar and then a Manta-style follow-up, that's just so much plus stats. He's gonna have a pretty seizable health pool, as well as a lot of damage, which he already does have. He's the pushing power. All right, 5 and Q. They're moving forward. Arrow comes out, hits for FX, and this is the time Zephyr will strike. They're moving in. Ranto will be the first to follow. The Black King bar is keeping Blitz well and alive. That's 2 dead and TPing away. Wow. 2 deaths for none. Zephyr getting the kills. Sagon needs to hightail it out of there. I don't know what he's trying to do, sticking around. Oh, actually, Sexy Bambo looking to get a kill. The arrow misses. Tornado hits. This is going to be a tier 1 tower down, though. Bambo still mana burned. Oh! Very close. That could have been a very dead Mirana. 5 and Q minus Sniper, they're around. And Sniper's back in the picture. So Team Zephyr, they're going to back up for the time being. It's just going to come down to those arrows from Sexy Bambo. He hits the arrows. Zephyr can go in for the fight. They can get a pick or 2 off while the arrow keeps one of the opposing members stunned. Out comes the Tornado Purge. He's hit, and he's going to fall. Sheep follow up. Sunstrike, more additional nukes. And he has finished off the Laguna Blade from Cynical. And the Aegis will be reclaimed in just shy of 3 minutes. Mechanism now finished for Dazzle. And there's a smoke pickup for 5 and Q. Looking to see if they can get someone caught out of position. Zephyr know they have to play with Purge. They need their 5-man roster if they want to do these fights. Cynical's revealed. And the ward is shown as well. Thanks to the eye from Sexy Bambo. It will prevent any high ground warding in their base. The fortress remains secure for the time being on Zephyr's end. Ranto, he's been getting picked off a lot in these fights. It's really delayed his Black King bar, but I imagine he will have it for the next one. And now Zephyr, they're smoked up. Corey infested inside of Blitz. The Age is still available. Oh, and double damage being taken. No wards to show that it's gone. Uh-oh, this is very bad. That's going to be 1 dead Sagon. Down he goes. Bambo getting the kill. And this is not looking good for 5Q. They have to be very defensive. Now that Zephyr are on the offensive, they have the weave still up for a tiny bit longer. And the Shadow Blade, while unconventional, has been proven to be a pretty darn cool item on the Mirana. Sniper not too far away from getting his Black King bar. And Bambo looking for an arrow. Is he going to get it? No vision on the high ground for 5Q. Out goes the arrow. It's a miss. Tornado hits Purge. Down goes the weave on half of Zephyr's team. 5Q remaining defensive. A Blitz, he has the double damage rune. That tower is history. The gold advantage for 5Q, it was almost at 20,000. Now it's moving down. And experience getting close to even. Ranto has the Black King bar though. And so a lot of extra survivability on his end. Zephyr are not going to have the Aegis available, I feel, for the next fight. I think it's going to expire by then. Invoker's still the biggest playmaker for certain. Mirana has her Manta style. And look at the positioning of Zephyr. They are just waiting. They are waiting. In comes a blink. Nice initiation from Zagon. Sexy Bambo blown to bits. And disruption as well. Hitting Elson. They're trying to get some damage done. Ranto going the town. Down Dazzle goes. Bambo is dead, but the weave armor is really starting to take an effect. But there is a lot of death. 2 for 3 so far. Corey, will he end up falling? He has Infest available. And he goes down. 4 for 3. 5Q, they still are in it. And if Purge dies, 3 for 5. Very, very good initiation from 5Q. And, well, Cynical. he will escape the fight another day. Man, what a back and forth game. It was one-sided for so long. Zephyr got a few really good engagements. 5Q coming back though with a very well executed gank. Zephyr not as ready as they thought they were. That Nyx assassin initiation power, not to be underestimated. Still no towers or tier 3 able to be taken after that fight from 5Q. They just lost a little bit too much, so they couldn't press the advantage. Corey now has a Sanj and Yasha, as well as a Basher. So Corey is going to get scary very soon. Actually, he already is quite scary. I don't know if he's scary as Ranto. Maybe a little bit more because of the rage. That Black King bar definitely kept him alive in that fight. And Roshan will return in about 2 minutes. And there's that Aegis pickup, or Aghanim Scepter pickup for the Lina. And Nyx Assassin with the Ghost Scepter really does not want to die in these team fights. Doing a little bit of scouting towards mid. And don't forget the gem is back in 5Q's possession. Storm Spirit, 3 and 7, not his game. But at least a Black King bar on Blitz. Well, when you're behind, you really have no choice but to get that Black King bar on the Storm Spirit. You don't have other options. Okay, Zephyr. They're all invisible. Moonlight Shadow. They're looking for a gank. 5Q, though, they're grouped up like a group of baby puppies. And now smoked up like a group of hippies. Roshan down to about a minute left. The Roshan fight could make a huge difference in the next engagement. 5Q smoked up. Mirana on the other side of the map picking up the haste rune. Oh, this is not good for 5Q. Or Zephyr. If the initiation is good. Oh, Purge! And he falls. Very unfortunate death on him. Purge has just been getting mauled apart this game, and you can tell he's not happy about that. 5 and Q, though, they are just picking off some creeps, backing up, regrouping, and this could be a mid-tower of the push, but by the time they get to the front gates, I'm pretty sure we will see Purge back in action. Zephyr do need the delay a little bit longer, though. May not be something they can afford. Is there a buyback available? There is a fortification. I think they're going to use the fortification. Patience. Patience is what will keep Zephyr in this. Oh, and the ranged barracks, very low on health. Oh, Bambo gets the arrow hit. And the mid tower, or mid barracks, is down. It is the ranged one, though, so it's the other one would be worse to get killed off. And Blitz being assaulted a little bit by the sniper. Oh, Blitz, he's moving in. Out comes the Infest as well. Sagan, low on health, the weave. Blitz, can he survive? So close to death. His teammates keep him around. The same can be said for the Nyx Assassin, but not so lucky for the Lina. Stun hits Bambo. Corey going to town on KSH. He falls. The gem is available for the taking. Zephyr getting the better end of that team fight. Five and Q. They have had such a huge advantage for the majority of the game. They're still about twice as many kills ahead of Zephyr, but somehow Zephyr, they're getting these good team fights, the engagements, they're getting the pickoffs, and now they're going to get themselves a second Roshan. And even Purge, despite his million deaths, has managed to pick up an Agnum Scepter. Dazzle with the Mana Boots as well. Bit late for Mana Boots, but hey, better than no Mana Boots. It's my philosophy. The game has evened up considerably. After that engagement, the Roshan pick. Even Blitz with the Aegis once again. And the problem is Invoker, he's gotten most of the farm. He's gotten most of the kills. He's a great hero. You can carry with him, but you can't really carry hard with him. He's more of a semi-carry. Especially against a Lifestealer, even like Mirana and a Storm Spirit. Both can outcarry the Invoker generally. Really good at initiation and team fights, but I mean, you can't win the game on an Invoker's back. You don't see Corey playing that Invoker. The arrow, will it connect? Forces the BKB. Disruption was also a potential follow-up. And there's a smoke. Oh, they go in on Blitz. He gets sheeped as well, but Corey is in the house. And he is just going to town. Cynical getting picked apart. Nyx Assassin as well. Zephyr, they're doing it. They're making the comeback. 5 and Q, 2 buybacks already. Ranto, he's going to end up falling. Blitz, he is dead. Used up the Aegis as well, so down he goes. But 5 and Q, what seems to be a game that was theirs for the taking, has been turned around. So much negative armor. Corey with another kill. Eosin, Shallow Grave, keeping him alive for the time being. Corey is silenced, but he's still around. Gets a stun on Sagan. And now he's going to be raging it up. And Sagan, down he goes. Holy crap. I can't believe this. Zephyr, they're doing it. They are coming back into this match. The arrow, will it hit? No, it won't, but that is just 2 members left on 5 and Q's side. Bambo, ow, he gets blown to pieces. Corey and is gonna be next. A little bit of an overextension from Zephyr. The throws, goodbye Purge. So, when all is said and done, 5 and Q, they lost every single member. They had like 3 buybacks. They ended up having diebacks on like 3 of their members. But Zephyr also lost a good amount of their heroes. They dropped the Aegis. But you can't argue with those results. 32-21, and Zephyr are still looking like they're in the lead. They have turned this around. Holy crap. It's throws and counter throws and then throws again. It's throws everywhere. Dazzle acquiring a Force Staff. Also a Ghost Scepter as well for the Lina. 5 and Q. They had such a great early game team, but late game, it's just not working out for them. The heroes that they have are a little bit too squishy. Sniper has not proven to be as an effective carry as the Lifestealer for the match. Even Storm Spirit is useful in other ways, but Sniper, I mean, all he can really do is just dish out some damage. And Corey. A lot of money saved up. It's looking like he will be upgrading that Basher. Getting that Abyssal Blade. A gem as well, purchased by Purge. And there's a lot of smoke available on the Dazzle. So 5 and Q are smoked up this time. Moving straight down middle lane. But Zephyr, they're all together. They're prepared. They're ready. Do they have the wards? Do they have the sentry wards? No, they don't. 5 and Q smoked in Zephyr's jungle. What are they looking for? That's the question. They could potentially go on Corey. Oh, in comes the stun, but Corey, he already has his rage activated. In comes Blitz. BKB's on BKB's Blitz, bolting away. He's alive thanks to the Shallow Grave Bamboo under heavy fire. Stays alive as well, but the next assassin is dead. Corey, he is just absolutely tearing them apart piece by piece. Ranto force-stabbed into the enemy team. He falls. That's going to be a 3-for-1 as Bamboo falls. Man, these team fights are just intense. Blitz has picked up a Lincoln Sphere. And that the survivability is really what he needs in these fights. He's essentially a Lifestealer bomb carrier. 2 alive for 5 and Q. The team fights just seem to be going worse and worse for their team. The Dazzle pick really being annoying, keeping Zephyr's members alive when they seemed like sure deaths. Corey is 10 and 2. How does he do it, man? How does he do it? That guy goes to the gym every day and just all he does is work out his back. Strongest back in Korean Dodo. There's the Abyssal Blade to pick up for the Lifestealer. Now 5 and Q, it's just their team's really falling off in the later stages. It's unfortunate for them. Sniper has a Claymore. I'm wondering what he wants to build out of that. Maybe a Shadow Blade, but weird to have a Shadow Blade so late in the game, especially with the gym on the other end. And Zephyr, they are no strangers to getting lots of detection. Rush is still a few minutes away. Visage actually picking up Boots of Travel. A minute of lull in the action. 46 minutes elapsed into the game. 5 and Q, 33 kills to the 24 of Zephyr. Don't let the kill count fool you. Zephyr, they have been looking mighty strong in the last 15 minutes or so, like just with the team fights. A little bit of throwing and then counter throwing to keep 5 and Q in the match for a little bit longer, but If I had to put my money, I'd say that Zephyr does have a pretty strong advantage. And Lifestealer looking to be moving into an Assault Cuirass or a Mjolnir. Double damage, Nyx Assassin, Vendetta up, moving towards the enemy team, but there is a gem available on Zephyr's end. Moonlight Shadow. Alright, so Zephyr, they're just continuing to stick together. It's a battle of who gets the first pick off. Who gets the better initiation. If Zephyr gets a pick off, I'm pretty sure they have the game in the bag. If 5&Q can get a good kill or two, I can see them prolonging the game, maybe even getting a Barracks. And Roshan is getting pretty close to respawn time. And Zephyr are looking to grab the Roshan again. Minute and 15 seconds until he returns. Will 5&Q contest the Roshan pit? They do have the Invoker and the Lina. Really nice in those tight quarter areas. MKB picked up by Mirana. So that's going to be a lot of solid damage from Zephyr. They have more core. They have more core than 5&Q. Blitz doing a little bit more farming in the enemy jungle while he can. 5&Q, they're looking for some type of opening, trying to make something happen. Roshan, he is going to be popping up any second now. Give or take. Just becoming a standoff somewhat. During the downtime, for those of you wondering, my name is Whiplash. I live in Seoul, Korea, and I handle the KDL English broadcasting on site for those of you interested. If you want, you can also follow me on Twitter at Whiplash. But enough about me, it's time for the team fight. Roshan, the weave is good, hitting the majority of the Zephyr members. I don't even know if 5&Q can contest this. They're pushing towards the middle lane, but I don't even think do they even realize that Roshan's under fire? They're kind of around the area. And Roshan, he falls. And Blitz comes in, tries to go ahead and grab someone. He is going to go ahead and go on KSH. He's low on health, but jumping forward, gets the kill. Dazzle traded for Invoker. And Corey low on health, but he's going to town, but a little bit too much damage, blown up. 2-for-1 trade. 5&Q actually getting the bigger end of the stick. It did seem a little bit uncoordinated by Zephyr. A bit uncharacteristic. And even Invoker buying back, they're actually pushing towards the middle lane. With Corey down, this could be a desperation move. Corey does have a buyback available. He does have the buyback. Dazzle does not, but he'll be back in 15 seconds. Zephyr, I think they have to give up the middle racks. They have fortification. This is going to be a very tense moment. The arrow misses. And in comes Corey with Storm Spirit. They manage to kill the sniper and the Shadow Demon. Blitz, though, he is under heavy assault. Down he will fall. Aegis popped. Mirana didn't get a chance to use her cheese as she falls. Oh, wow. Blitz moving forward. BKB enabled, and he's going to go ahead, move in on Cynical. Corey open wounds. The Ghost Scepter keeping Cynical alive for the time being, forcing his ultimate on Elson, but down he goes. Down he goes. Ooh. Nice attempt at the Sunstrike from Invoker. But too much health remaining for the Dazzle. Too much healing. And 5&Q, they are in a little bit of trouble. Cynical buys back. Sniper will be around in 10 seconds, and I would not be surprised to see Zephyr back up. Indeed they do. But man, what an intensive game we have. Back and forth. It seemed like 5 and Q, they were falling off towards the late game. But as we continued the trudge on, they are still sticking in it. Giving Zephyr opportunities to make a few mistakes. Experience-wise, Zephyr have a pretty solid advantage. And Assault Cuirass finished up for the Lifestealer. Corey gaining some additional armor for his back. A Manta style completed for the Sniper. 5 and Q rotating towards the bottom lane. Look at that. Gold. The gold graph is actually in Zephyr's favor. And experience way in their favor. They do have the late game team, ladies and gentlemen. They do have the late game team. Corey infesting into Blitz's body, into the Storm Spirit. Bamboo. He's got the cheese. He's got the eye. He's got a Shadow Blade. He's got interesting items. I'll give him that. 5 and Q grouped up in the bottom lane. Purge lagging behind the rest of Zephyr. They do need him if they want to initiate Blitz. Don't get too cocky, Star Fox. And the enemy team, they even know where Purge is at. Interestingly enough, a Diffusal Blade picked up. Ooh. Nice kill off on the bird. And they get resummoned instantly. Yeah, Diffusal Blade. I guess the add-on some extra slow. Good at removing sheep as well. Purge an ally. Of course, Purge has the item that purges. It's just so fitting for him. Really is. A Nyx Assassin picking up a gem, True Sight. So he'll have that vision available. All right, no buyback for anybody at this point. Blitz, I guess, just picked up another item in order to secure that buyback. He has a sheep stick. And despite being like, he was 2 and 7 at one point, he's 5 and 8 now. But the sheep stick is going to make a big difference in this team fight. Zephyr. They're smoked in. Can they get the arrow? That's the question. Wow. Oh. Well, that didn't do much. An annoying arrow and nothing else. Saygun. A little bit of a mana burn. Ooh, very nice. Bambo with the moves. Once you use Manta style, you have like a 0.1 second time of invulnerability. So if you're skilled enough and time it right and have the reaction, you can dodge a lot of projectiles. Manta style also very nice at dispelling debuffs on you. It's overall a great item for a lot of heroes. And Blitz still has Corey infested inside of him. Five and Q, they're forced onto the defensive. I'm not sure if Zephyr can actually take a high ground fight, maybe with an arrow. But it's not happening. Forward blink Saygun getting very aggressive. Bambo actually doesn't have any mana. It's going to be hard for him in a prolonged fight to make things happen. There's a double damager in the bottom lane. Bottom river. Would like to see that get picked up. There it is by Sexy Bambo. You know, I wouldn't mind a Bloodstone next on the Storm Spirit. Especially late game, giving around that extra health when he dies. And a faster respawn timing as the game trenches on towards the later stages. Wouldn't be a bad pickup. Mirana with about 4,000 gold. I'm assuming her next pickup will be a butterfly. Maybe even a monkey, a Black King bar. After that cheese is used up. 5&Q smoked once again. A Seigun leading the charge. Looking for the pickoff. Can it be Corey? Oh, Zephyr, they're pretty, they're a little bit out of position. Sheep hits Corey, but man, that is one lucky pig. Dodges the, oh, and Purge is like a magnet for those tornadoes. It seems like every single one that's gone off has managed to somehow hit him. There's the cheese. If you want to pronounce it in Korean, it's cheese. There's a Korean word of the day, cheese. Cheese. Fun fact, a lot of Korean words, I guess not a lot, but a decent amount of them are just English words, but they're kind of pronounced with Korean, the Korean alphabet, so they do change a little bit. The Korean alphabet, very easy to learn. I was talking to Eosin right before the match. He has a piece of paper, he's writing down the letters, and he's learning how to read. Read Korean. So good for him. Corey also knows how to read a little bit of Korean as well. Oh, arrow. Almost lands. Once one of these arrows hit, like, Zephyr are just going to come in with full force, and there's going to be a sheep. Corey in the house, in comes Blitz. BKB enabled, KSH under fire. He gets disrupted. Bambo using the Manta, trying the DPS down. Ranto, and down he goes. Sniper is out of the picture. Who's going to be next? Deafening Blast hits Corey, and follow up lots of DPS. Bambo gets removed out of the picture. Down goes the Shadow Demon as well. It's a 2-for-2. Corey, Abyssal Blade kills off Invoker. 3-for-2. Do we have a buyback? That is 100 seconds without the Invoker. And Seigun looks like he will be next. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a 3-for-2 trade. Buybacks available for the Invoker and the majority of Zephyr. But I think this is not good. This is not good for 5&Q. Will the Invoker even buy back? I think they actually just have to give up the mid-racks and try their best to defend the middle. That is probably what they'll end up doing. By then they'll have Sniper and they'll have the Shadow Demon alive. Nyx Assassin is just out of the picture though for another 45 seconds. Down goes the tier 3 tower. The racks are going to be up next most likely. But Zephyr, they're backing up. They're playing it ultra safe. And away they go. Well, they did force a buyback on KSH. Roshan's back. The cheese is out. Regeneration run in the bottom lane. It looks like Purge has decided to teleport to his ally. I think he just used his minions to teleport to them that were following around the Lifestealer. Denial of the regeneration rune. Well, Corey's pretty much maxed out item-wise. I guess he could get some boots of travel or something. And Bunker has a sheep stick, 4 staff, and a lot of other juicy items. Arrow hits a flame or forge spirit. And Zephyr looking to get the 4th Roshan kill. Will we see 5&Q try to contest this? Storm Spirit is far away. They're all armored up though. This is not a team fight that 5&Q wants to take. The tornado comes out. Arrow gets thrown. Will it hit? I don't believe it connects. In comes Storm Spirit. Corey grabs the Aegis. And in they come. In comes Blitz. Zip-zapping in. Cynical, down he falls. Bamboo, very low on health. He is grave for the time being with a BKB. Sagan, down he goes. This is a 2-for-0. Ladies and gentlemen, FX. He escapes, but I think this is it for 5 and Q. It's 5 versus 3 with an Aegis available to Zephyr. The mid lane or the bottom lane. Looks like bottom lane may be pushed. And what a close match, 62 minutes. Zephyr, they're currently up 1-0 over the opposition. 5 and Q were at one point, I think, 17-3. They were that far ahead, and this is what the game has turned into. Corey thrown into the air. In comes the meatball. Rage follow up. Zephyr, though, they're going to be armored up thanks to the weave. Down goes one Rax. The second one should follow. But no, they're just moving towards the mid-racks. They want to take that out. Sheep on Corey, but he is armored up. Force staffed away. He has the Aegis. Corey does not care. Raged up once more. That is 2 melee racks fallen for 5 and Q. Not the position that you want to be in if you're 5 and Q. Well, Corey is low on health, still has the Aegis. I imagine he'll eat up. The bottom racks do end up falling. The mid one will most likely be next. Sagan. He is vendetted up. Storm Spirit getting a little bit of extra damage, utility, and defense with the Arctic armor. Oh, Sagan. He is in a lot of trouble. Force the Ghost Scepter away. Blitz, he gets a nice stun on FX. Can they do enough to finish him off? Forward Blitz comes. Yes, it's enough. Down he goes. So Shadow Demon is dead. Nyx is dead. Invoker falls. Ladies and gentlemen, Zephyr, they have done it. They did what seemed to be the impossible. GG. I can't believe it. They managed to do it. Corey shaking his head in disbelief. Zephyr, 17-3. They come back and they get the victory. 5 and Q look completely dumbfounded. How did that happen? Holy crap, what a match. What a match. But that was a great game.